Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Victory Saber 77 coming to you with the Aftercast, episode 67. Going to be talking about TFCon exclusives. So if you're into third-party stuff, definitely stay tuned. We'll be talking a lot about that. But let's get into some introductions. I'll roll through my little spiel of shows and everything else after that. We'll get into halls and then topics. So, guys, introduce yourselves. Charles, where can they find you?
I'm Charlie. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Optimus4Prez.
And the dude next to you with the glasses.
And all you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at Daltonians TFs.
Josh?
And you can find me, G1Extron, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitch, and Facebook page, the G1Extron.
Cool. And you can find me on YouTube, Twitter, VictorySaber77, Instagram's VictorySaber7, and we have some other shows. We have the Cybercast, airs on G1 Hextron's channel, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Should be in video form soon, or is it already?
It's good to go now.
It's good to go. So after the show here, actually we're going to have another show that's the Primal Cast, so maybe after that, if you're up late enough, or maybe tomorrow, check out the Cybercast, because we did go over the TFCon 2015 exclusives, the Canadian show, which is occurring during this weekend. But as I said, there is another show, Primal Cast. It is on Primal Sabbath's channel. It's going to air, I don't know, 5 to 10, 15 minutes after the Aftercast actually ends. So roughly around midnight Central Standard Time. So definitely check that out. It's open Hangout, so just message Dakota through YouTube, Facebook, and such. And we do have the collection spotlight on the Cybercast, so if you want your collection spotlight, and we will get to you, Tiger Tracks. I know, it's been a while. But we will showcase you, and if you want your collection spotlighted, no collection's too small or too big, 10 to 15, 20 pictures, roughly around there, just send them to Josh at g1hextron@gmail.com. Looking for a sponsor still for the Cybercast, so if you're interested in that, use the same email if you know or want to do that. Yeah, so let's get into hauls. What do you guys got? Charles, Golden Boy, you got something, man. You got to have something.
Nothing this week. No, last week I did come across that Combiner Wars bombshell.
Right on. It's a nice little figure.
Oh yeah.
You have Scrapnel?
No, I hadn't seen him in forever.
Good luck.
You can get the Takara version that came out,
I'm sure, but it's got that little.
or just get Zap Trap from the BotCon, a freebie attendee figure. Hey, the little Micron dude he comes with is beat shit. You can't beat that. So totally pick that up.
Yeah.
But Dalton, what do you got?
I'm going to catch some flack for this, but I got the Cyclonus for Combiner Wars.
Yeah, so I got that.
And I also picked up the Legendary Edition of Skyrim. So
You did what?
the Legendary Edition of Skyrim.
Oh, cool. Right on. How you liking that Cyclonus?
Not a bad Cyclonus. Never going to see the combined mode.
Yeah, that's true.
I've actually re-recorded my review, so.
Right on. Hey, speaking of stuff, I totally missed out. I don't want to, but there was a Cartoon Monday.
No, it got changed to just regular cartoon reviews, and I didn't get to this week. It was just chock full.
Oh. Okay. Damn.
Don't start, Josh.
Cartoon.
Over it. Cartoon someday. Josh, what do you got? What do you got?
Really big haul. I got the Starcom complete cartoon series on DVD, thanks to Victory Saber 77 or 7 on Instagram, and that's it. So
That's it? Oh,
I actually lost a lot of collection though.
did you get another package today? Yeah, have you checked your mail today?
No, I haven't even been outside because they just dropped stuff off at my
Oh,
feet.
it's
So
a
I
big
thought
envelope. You might go check.
the Starcom DVD that you sent
No,
me.
I sent you something else. It's a
Oh crap.
large envelope.
Oh god.
It might be there, might not be there. So I didn't send it priority. I just sent it normal first class. But they said it would be there about the same time.
Oh, I probably need to go look out my front door. It might be sitting there, or someone might have stole it already.
So I was told, all right. Well, darn. But you might get a kick out of it. So,
Awesome.
but
I couldn't find Vision. I've been looking ever since then. He's the one that comes with the Hulkbuster, right?
yeah,
Or,
you know,
I didn't. None of my stores had any Hulkbuster.
Wave.
So yeah, they're all whatever the Thor one and the or his dad, whatever his name is, and uh, the
yeah.
newest one, and then also the Ultron. That's all I got.
Yeah, Vision's a little bit difficult, but Hulkbuster's there. He's just in pieces. He can't. Doesn't have the ability to use his legs. Oh well.
I'll keep my eye out though. Still.
For me, I picked up Groove, Rodimus. Thought what the hell, and got some stuff coming in next week. But I've been collecting the Million publishing stuff. I like those books, and I got I got this book, this isn't the second edition. The second edition has 19 extra pages, but this book is really awesome. If you want a source book, it's got everything. It goes from G1 all the way to Machine Wars. It includes Hasbro, Takara, and European. So it's awesome. But that is about it. Oh, I should have a shirt coming soon, thanks to Pinkerton, the Realm of Collectors.
Yeah.
I didn't see it though. Damn it. But which is a good show. I should plug them really quickly. Enter the Realm is on Dustmite's channel, DUSTMIGHTZ, on YouTube. Check it out. It's on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. I'll definitely check that out. But Dakota, any hauls for you? That's what we're going over right now.
Not this week. Waiting for a couple of. Well, I'm actually just waiting for one more thing to sell on eBay, and then I should have a pretty illustrious haul following it. So as soon as it sells, soon.
Cool. All right. Let's go over some of the stuff that we saw because two of you have your opinions on that. So I know you guys aren't totally into third party. I mean, Dalton, you have some stuff. Charles, you have some stuff also.
Trust me, I want to get more stuff.
Okay, so what tickled your fancy?
The Carnifex and the TFC Leo Kaiser.
Mm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good choices.
Like Kaiser,
Go ahead.
the green G2 Phantosaurus Korea. That was kind of cool. I still want an original one.
Oh, you still want that? Okay.
Yeah.
And the Dino King looks awesome too.
Yeah.
Now I know we kind of touched on it. The G2, since you brought that up, Charles. The G2 Masterpiece Dinobots. Wonder if they're just gonna do like the popular colors, or the most common, I guess, or if maybe they're going to do all of them.
Turning into KFC.
No, turning into Hasbro. All the repaints. That would be interesting. I mean, if they did, I'm hoping that they would have a limit, or they're limited to 250 or something. For Slag was green, and then he was red also. He also had the G1 color for G2.
Grimlock was blue, and I want to say wasn't there a
He was
G1 colored Grimlock too?
Yeah, and then also teal.
Okay. Yeah. So which one was red? Was it one of them red? Yeah.
Snarl, and then the Canadian Slag version was red.
So many variants.
But I mean, that would be pretty cool. But again, I would love to see who's going to collect all that. I mean, that is going to have to be a strong shelf, and you have to have deep pockets. $200 pop. So I'm thinking hopefully Dust Mites will pick them all up.
I would
One other
like to see them all on display for sure, but it'd have to be in somebody else's home.
and that kind of leads into something. I don't know if you were going to talk about this, Josh, on one of your, maybe the Cybercast or a topic, but I saw your conversation with some of those guys on Twitter about Masterpiece versus third party and how they're not Masterpiece and all that type of stuff going back and forth. Some nice, fun banter. But, what do you guys think about that? That we have these third party Masterpiece or, Masterpiece figures. I don't know how you want to get Masterpiece scale, I guess. Do you like it? You're willing to fork out the money for that until they come out with an official, or I want to just wait for the official, or you got to have it now? Because, like me, I'm kind of impatient and I'm kind of wanting to pull the trigger.
And that's how I am.
I think whenever it was like the Shockwave, Fans Toys Shockwave, Quakewave, like that, I think was really cool. I think the fact that everyone was just doing some kind of incarnation of Dinobots just sort of tanked that for me. But if it was just just those Masterpiece Dinobots coming out, or Masterpiece scaled Dinobots coming out, sure. But then you had like multiple companies doing them too there for a while. I don't know who all's still coming out with them, but for characters like we either will not get or will not get for a long time. Absolutely, I think that's cool. But stuff that either needs a classics update or would fit, I think, the classics line a little bit better, like the More Than Meets the Eye Rodimus. That doesn't really need to be a masterpiece. Omnigonic Sunstreaker, I think, for the time being, needs to be a masterpiece, even though I think they will. Takara will eventually come through on it. But that's something that kind of needs to be there. But most everything else seems to be like saturation.
Yeah, I totally agree that the X9 carry should have been Chuck scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm wanting, the third party like Beast Wars stuff to come out, man, I just hope they don't try to shove it in that Masterpiece scale to go with Primal. Like, there's so many classics updates that need to happen before, leave that to Takara. Let Takara just do all those, please. Thank you.
Yeah, they're still missing characters for the classics line from the season 1 teams. But Mr. Official, what if they came out with a really good, let's say, Desaurus, and you know deep down gut feeling that this is probably, if I want to enjoy it while I still have, a right set of mind, I haven't, lost it with old age, I should pick it up, or would you wait?
I've kind of got it the way in my mind now that it's just I want to do all strictly official. Well, I'm not saying that the third-party Masterpiece scale stuff doesn't, or it looks bad or anything like that, but that's the way I want to keep my collection. It's all official. There will be a couple KOs like the Goldie for Sideswipe. They're never coming out with a gold version, so I don't mind buying that. And then the all white colored MP10, I'm gonna end up picking that up because Hasbro will probably never come out with that either. So those will be the only two KOs that I have. Everything will be strictly official, but it's one of those, whenever I look at it, I do want those, and like those headmasters, I want those. I want them to be, Takara to release them. The chances of them doing it anytime soon, not likely, but I'll just hang on to my money. Like the Reflector, I think there's a couple of companies out there that are putting out some pretty nice, or even the Insecticon, some pretty sweet looking figures. But as soon as that Takara comes around, that's the one I would end up buying, for sure. So I've sold so much stuff for discounted prices over the past couple weeks, whether it be third party or even like chug stuff. Because I was getting on the verge there to where you guys were actually calling me a chug collector, so I was like, all right, it's time to dump this. So to where I took losses on every single thing to sell it at a discounted rate. I was like, you know what, I don't really want to do that anymore. I'd rather just wait until I find the stuff that I absolutely want officially released, and I'll just buy it then. So I'll be patient with it.
Question, Josh, have you ever tried like trading? Because I know whenever I had Warbot Defender, the Fans Project Springer, and whenever the Generation Springer was announced, I was part of that people that were just, well, time to drop this thing and go with that Hasbro Springer. And I had it listed for like half of what I bought it for. But fortunately, some guy was like, "Hey, I see you're open to trades. I see you have some stuff in in a wants thread." Um, and I was able to work out a deal. I was able to work out a deal to where I essentially got in value for trades what I paid for it, maybe a little bit more. But the guy, he just wanted it. He had a lot of stuff he wanted to offload. Have you ever kind of considered going that route?
I don't know how comfortable I would be with trades, just because
It's tricky.
how it works. Like, hey, who's shipping first here? And how do you know that the person on that other end? It's the same thing as to be doing a trade. It's kind of equivalent to someone you don't really know, but they're like, hey, I got this for sale, and send it and you're sending PayPal money as a gift. Now, someone you don't know, you'd actually, hey, you know what? I'll pay the fees. I'll take those fees on. So you're selling it for 150. You'll still get your 150, and I'll take on the fees. But it's like sending it as gift. There's no way for PayPal to fix that. And the same thing, I don't really know how trades work, but would one person send it and then be like, okay, all good, and the other one, or do you like, hey, same time, man? But when you get it in, you don't know if it's a bracelet.
I'll tell you how I have done it. Obviously, use common sense. I'm not going to trade with anyone who has like zero feedback or just a few. They have to have like a long established feedback as a seller before I'm even going to think about a trade. And unfortunately, this guy did. And a couple of people that I've actually. So we would either ship on the same day or there would be like a day difference. And common courtesy. Here's shipping information, or here's a shipping number, and all this other stuff. But it's you don't just outright go out and just well, I sent my stuff. Strange person with zero previous feedback and like 3 posts. It's all about like knowing,
See,
But then you never know when that one guy is just gonna like completely say, what, screw the fandom. I'm just trying to get toys and money, and I don't care about my character anymore.
in a trade, I would be more comfortable with it. Let's say like we're both trying to get rid of something that that we're like, hey, we're selling it for 100, or we're like, hey, we're both wanting 100 for this. Why don't we just trade it because we both want what each other has? Like, I PayPal you 100 and you PayPal me 100, and then we're ship the items, and to where now it's that connected. We brought PayPal into our little trade agreement there, where if one of us ends up kind of screwing the other one over, then you could take it up with PayPal and get your money back.
Oh yeah, it could totally work like that for sure. It's all like what you come to terms with. But I know. Fortunately, I haven't been burned on a trade. I've been burned on a buy, but I haven't been burned on a trade. But I'm not. I guess I was kind of dumb with the buy, but I don't know.
What about you other guys with trades?
Never done trades.
Yeah, I don't do trades.
Well, you don't sell either.
No. So, yeah, doesn't matter. So there you go.
James, I will give you some belly button lint and 3 pennies for Lio Kaiser.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Deal?
right.
I've seen that, like on trade forums, you can get stuff that you're that you want a lot quicker. I mean, like you can find stuff, because people are willing to negotiate and like, hey, if you have something I want, I'm willing to unload. But I just never gone that route, and I just don't want the hassle, I guess.
Yeah. And there's even some people that are just explicitly, trade only. Even if they have like some high profile things they're trying to unload, or something that's wanted. They're like, well, I just only want to trade for it.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm like, wow.
I will trade this green paper for your item, but they're like, no, I want plastic. I'm like, okay, I trade you this prepaid Visa made out of plastic for that item. No, that's not gonna work. God. So, I don't know. All right, Trent, you're drinking on the show. Awesome.
There you go.
That's good. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good, and you?
Good. Off topic, but real quick, did you get any hauls this week?
No,
Oh,
not yet.
not yet. So you're
Pretty
expecting
slow around
something?
here. Not for sure.
Not for sure now. All right. Okay.
Ominous. Very ominous.
Yeah. Going back to TFCon reveals, who do you think had the stronger reveal? Which third party
Freaking
knocked it out of the park?
Mastermind for sure.
Yeah,
I think.
I agree. Mastermind Creations.
As far as
Yeah.
sheer numbers. Yeah.
Going
Right.
back and looking at that kind of I'm sorry. I'll wait.
No? What were you saying?
Going back and looking at that Diatlas, that Fans Project Diatlas, who we thought was Diatlas, he kind of had the same feat as the bot that was made of the 3 separate components.
Hmm.
So, wonder what the deal with that is. 'Cause that's what I was kind of starting to think. I was like, well, they have very similar looking legs and feet. But I don't know. Overall, I'm still kind of waiting on Nick Toys to come through for that. Or at this point, Mastermind. I mean, dude, they're doing drift and wings, so.
Yeah, saying they're doing it, though, doesn't mean it's coming out anytime soon.
Well, yeah, that's true. It's so unfortunately true. But something to look forward to.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, Mastermind had a really good showing, but a lot of that stuff we've already seen. For me, it would have to be TFC Toys' Blau Kaiser. I mean, I didn't see that coming. I didn't even think that they would touch that. Knew about the Fans Project Dino King. Knew about a lot of that stuff, but that was like really cool. But
Yeah.
what about for the rest of you guys? Anything?
Just complete standout as the TSC with the Lyle Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, as far as if we're just talking reveals, Make Toys, we've seen a lot of that stuff. Mastermind Creations, we've seen a lot of that stuff as well. Same with Fans Project. So it's just just sheer like surprise, like oh wow, that. You'd have to give it with TFC, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it sells well. I mean, it's going to be an expensive figure to pick up, but I'm hoping it does. Well, not a lot of people in the fandom know who Lyle Kaiser is, or blame it on its like, well, it wasn't part of the G1 US cartoon, so I don't care. Then we get into the East versus West, then we get into Turf Wars, then we get into all this type of stuff. They don't like the word breast former, all that type of stuff. So.
And there I'll be on Twitter again with my stick, just sticking it into the fire ant bed, like stirring them up.
And then it's
Basically
struck
what I
out
was doing
monkey
on
all over
Twitter.
again.
So, and I'm curious to see how big Lyle Kaiser is going to be. I mean, he's 6 robots. Now, Hercules started it all, but everyone since then has gotten bigger. So you would think that Lyle Kaiser's going to be a pretty big boy.
Probably about the same size as Titan Class Devastator.
That would be cool. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
Hopefully they don't make Leo Zach too large, but I don't know. Pretty cool. Another thing that I don't think we talked about, but what do you guys think about Make Toys? No, not Make Toys. Excuse me. Fans Toys bringing back Quakewave.
Pre-ordered
3 different versions. Pre-ordered, huh? Which one?
the regular.
Regular. Pretty cool. I mean, that thing was going for quite a bit of money on eBay that we always used to showcase during the eBay show.
Dude, I sold mine for $350 like a month or a half ago.
I just want someone to sell me the elbow ratchets and the arm ratchets. I just like the way they sound. They sound so freaking pretty. Yeah, just do that. I just want the ratcheting joints and half the figure. Get some shapeways joints in place, and I'll go in half with you.
I mean, I think that's really cool that Fans Toys is doing it because everyone we've talked about Quakewave like years ago. It seems like when we were getting into like third party when it first came out, we're like, oh my gosh, this is like the best third party to date figure. Really great, just everything about it. Now they've gone back and a lot of people now can pick it up. Dalton, you can pick it up now and all that, which you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for, which is really cool. I do like that. But do you think Fans Toys is turning into not, I don't want to say money, hungry in a way, but they got a lot of just repaints and reissues that they love to do. And do you think that's going to be a detriment to their company, or it's going to be synonymous? Oh, Fans Toys. Oh, you mean the repaint third-party company? Do you feel that they're kind of giving themselves that name, or not saying the quality's bad, but it seems that way? Or are we all happy that we're getting repaints? And you know what? I wanted that Quakewave that was that Astro kind of looking color scheme, or I want a clear version of that Quakewave because that would have been perfect. Or I need just a darker shade of purple, or maybe a lighter shade of purple.
I think, I think for Hasbro, we've come to kind of accept it and think it's okay. I mean, it's the norm. But I mean, third parties doing it. Sometimes it'll make sense, but more often than not, I just don't think it does. It's I get, you used all this, you spent a lot of money to create these steel molds for these figures, and you're trying to get, the most out of them, just like Hasbro would, but you're not Hasbro. You're not pumping out hundreds of thousands of these per run. So I don't know. I don't feel obligated to like or kind of accept the repaints. That's just me. Like I said, sometimes it could be a really cool repaint, really awesome character, but more often than not, it's just like, yeah, we totally needed this. Maybe, I don't.
Yeah, I feel that there's no other third party that's doing as many repaints as they are. So, I mean, it's nice to have variety, but I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, would you, if you were a fan of, let's say, like we were talking about Scoria, love that mold, would you buy all 4 or 5 versions of it?
No, just
Or just the 1 or 2.
yeah. I just want 2 versions of it.
I mean, it's not the Generation Springer mold, for goodness sakes.
Sure.
So, just curious. I mean, looking at that, I mean, what is their snarls called? Was it like Sever?
Sever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that there's 3 or 4 different versions of that, and their next one is Stump. Their Sludge.
Stomp.
Stomp. Is that what it's called? Okay. Stomp. Yeah. Shoot, what's that going to be, like 6? Even though the Diaclone version is exactly the same as the retail, so there's no difference there.
Just a slight shade of the color, just like they did on that Quakewave. Because I had to look at those 2 new Quakewaves that are both kind of dark, and look at them like go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was like, okay, I guess I can see a slight shade of color difference, but
No, I mean, man, if like I said, if they were pumping out hundreds of thousands of these things, you know, get it, if it was stuff that would go to like your mass retail store, okay, I can accept the repaint, but the fact is it's not, and it won't. So I'm a little, I don't know, less forgiving for the third party world of repaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know where they're getting their information. Like, do they think people out there want like G2 colors and all that? It's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like, okay, after the fact, down the
Yeah.
road, once the first initial release comes out, but giving us so many choices at once seems kind of odd.
Mhm.
Even though they're putting a limited number run on some of these, but
Yeah.
I think you're right. That would have been the best way. Is like, let's complete the line, and then after that, a lot of people that missed out on the opportunity, like, well, here's a G2, and that you would have got a lot more sales from that instead of like, dude, here's everything, and then because you're competing against.
But okay, what else would you guys like to talk about? Anything? Because I want to talk about TFCon a little bit, and we got all that out of the way. So, open forum.
Dude, like,
Gonna take it 50.
put me on the spot. I can't even think.
I didn't have anything left over. What about these guys on the Rumble is Blue?
Oh yeah.
Rumble is blue.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Cartoon all the
You
way.
guys are all followers. I'm a leader.
Well, yeah, and especially like with you, Dalton, you didn't grow up G1, so you do think that he is blue?
Well, yeah, watching, watching it when it was on Netflix and everything. Yeah, Rumble's blue.
Cool. Right on. Yeah, he's one of those ones. I don't know. I don't even know why it's such a big deal at times, but
Unless you count a moment in the movie,
movie.
the original movie.
Oh, okay. I was like, movie. What are you talking about here?
When Soundwave sends them up to end the transmission that they're sending out to Prime, there's two frenzies.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're gonna get into G1 animation era,
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
saw Snarl
We'll
too a
be
couple
here
times.
all night. Since we didn't talk about it on the Cybercast, because there's no company attached to it, we don't know if it's third party, if it's official. We don't know what it is because it doesn't seem to really. Anyways,
I
the
know where you're going.
Dinobot,
Yeah.
I kind of took a look at it and it's hard to tell. It could be like Josh said, it could just be a garage kit, and it very well could be, but it definitely doesn't look third party because it has too much angular, shapely stuff going on. It doesn't look like a bunch of polygon blocks,
Mhm.
put together. So I just wanted to know if you guys had seen it yet.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's really hard to tell. I mean, it kind of has the elements of the universe version built
And
into it.
the original as well. The way the arms transform into the dinosaur legs, and someone was like, "Oh, it's probably the masterpiece." I was like, "Don't be foolish."
Well,
Don't be
I hope it
foolish.
is. I hope it is. That
That-
way,
that would
when we
be-
get it, they'll be like, "Oh God, you know what? I was a Beast Wars fan, but let's just stick to G1." thing
But
is awful."
that's what's awesome is a lot of people were like, "Well, whatever it is, I want it," And I hope this isn't third party because I'd like to get it. So it's awesome to see for sure.
Mhm.
it does look good, but it does look like it takes cues from the universe in K1. So he's a little skinny.
He's got
But-
thin legs.
So I'd want it. I mean, for me, I'd be back in the same situation where I'm like, I kind of want my Dinobot to be that Voyager size. If he's going to be in the classic, big, beefy, like he is on the show.
Yeah, And looking at it, just the dude's just using the dude's like hand or what little we could see of it, he did look like it was going to be a nice Voyager size.
I just don't want an upscale version of the universe.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, I totally agree, but it didn't look that way. The arms, the chest, all that. I mean, it very clearly has some new-ish design cues. It looks like it takes from the old one for sure, but the original mold. But it still has the skinny legs that the universe has. But overall, I think I'm cool with it. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
It looked like
If it
the
is.
original to me. I don't know that much about that figure, but it looked like something that just came out of Beast Wars, like along with the other ones. Like there wasn't anything special to it, though.
Josh is going to see Masterpiece Primal and be like, "Oh yeah, Primal Savage had that thing for a couple years now." And
A little shell former.
Find out that Dinobot's actually a knockoff. It's done by what is it?
always be your good side.
Always be your friend or whatever.
Clone
Droid. That's who's doing it.
Man, that'd be such torture.
We have diecast for it. Oh wait, no, we'll go through 6 months of production. We're gonna take the diecast out there.
That's what I had going for it.
So that's just unfortunate.
You want to bring up the Fans Project's Dinobot's 6 member, their female companion?
Oh gosh, Boobasaurus. I mean,
I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna be the one that did
it's
it.
just, oh, I mean, what else can you? I mean, dude, if that guy that ripped on the slave Leia saw that in the stores, I'm sure he would have a problem also. Dad, why's that dinosaur got chest? Well, see, yeah, I'm calling the manager. I've got to call the news. This is not right. And shouldn't there be like an orange cap on that somewhere too? Because so.
Oh man.
It's interesting.
That was a little from left field. I couldn't believe that when I saw it. Like that image just stuck in my mind.
Well, here's the image I'm now thinking, which is kind of weird. But San Diego Comic-Con, we saw those 3A stormtroopers. Now I'm picturing the 3A stormtroopers with that Fans Project figure now, which is just not right. I mean, it's just weird that we're getting into that. I don't know. Fembots, cool, but I don't know. I'd like to get a female collector point of view on that. It's just like, dude, is that really? I mean, Black Arachnia, okay, but is this the norm now?
Well, remember what was going on a lot a while back, where they're being over sexualized or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was going on the boards, and them coming out with all these female characters, and we actually brought it up and kind of discussed it a little bit. And that's one of those things where it was like, it'd be good if we had a female's perspective on this, but that I don't even have to be a female and be like, okay, well, that is a completely different ball game than what you're getting with like RC and Chromie and stuff like that, Windblade.
Yeah.
I mean, but even then, the Black Arachnia,
I mean, I'm maybe was what they're trying to do is so you can distinguish that it's a female character, but I think you don't have to overdo it.
Yeah.
I mean,
because that turns into what mold was used for the BotCon Elita 1? It was a Cybertron mold from back then.
oh, the RC.
No.
Oh, which Elita 1?
It's the Valkyrie.
Oh,
No,
It's the Impossible Toys Valkyrie.
No.
Thunderblast.
The Thunderblast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you remember the animation model for that?
Yeah.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that was beyond Black Arachnia ridiculous.
Well, yeah, but last year's BotCon, I mean, look at the comic book. I mean, someone had fun with that too.
Yeah, with
That's official.
Flame War, yeah, or Flare. Well, with both of them, Flare Up and Flame War.
Yeah.
I get they need to look, feminine. I mean, the toys have a very, I don't want to mean this like in a derogatory way, but a feminine feature like to them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Hopefully that's not the norm, because then you have like Masterpiece, Road Rage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have all those features. It doesn't need all those features. Sometimes just a small waist piece, or maybe redoing thigh pieces or whatever is enough. You don't have to have like double D knockers all over the place.
Double D knockers, lipstick smeared.
Yeah, smeared lipstick. Same goes for Victorion. Some of those characters don't have aren't they're not store bought, so to speak. I don't know.
Some of them
Adult things for
Victorian
adult
figures are for a little bit heftier women. So
yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. It's just kind of odd how it seems like it's cool we're getting more fembots. It's really awesome, but it seems like they're testing the waters, trying to we want to incorporate, more, but how do we do it? Now, I like Mastermind Creations fembots. They look good, and they're not overly proportioned and all that type of stuff. With their what is it, Aziel, whatever. I don't know. They're RC and Azalea. That's it. And they're, Solus Prime also. I like that one too, whatever she's called. But yeah, I don't know. Gosh, I collect the fans project stuff, and that's where we kind of started with this conversation. And I'll pick her up, but it's like I don't
Now, when
know.
you say you'll pick her up,
now when Kaiju comes in, he's like, Dad, what is like? As soon as she comes in the room, stares at it, is I'm telling Mom.
Well, when I saw that article that you posted on Facebook, I have Slave Leia too. I'm like, Sai, come here, and she's like, okay, what do you? It's like, okay, what do you see here, Sai? It's like she's like, she calls female dolls and whatnot like mom. I mean, she's only 3 and stuff like, oh, that's mom. I'm like, okay, so it's a female, but she's not like, Dad, why do you have that? You sicko perv. I'm out of here. I'm gonna call Child Protective Services to take me away because you're just a weirdo. No, I'm calling my mom. So
and he's got Violator cut out right behind. Come here, I'm not a weirdo. Come here.
So yeah, that's my my kid's deterrent for they can't leave the hallway because they have their rooms come to a joining hallway. So I put this at night, so when they try and leave, because sometimes my daughter likes to sleep in our bed at times because she gets freaked out. This is a good deterrent. Hashtag deadbeat dad of the year award right there. So
dude, that's so perfect.
But no, I don't do that, so I don't lose all my female subscribers, which I got 5% of you. But no, I don't see a problem. I mean, we talked about that on the Cybercast. As long as you talk to your kids, explain where it's from. It's a toy, and I know there's other types of toys. I mean, there's more scantily clad, toys out there and all that. But like Slave Leia, that's a character that's from an iconic movie series. It's really easy to explain. I don't know why this guy was stumbling over his words unless he's never seen Star Wars or he's just came out of the hills. I don't know. He doesn't want to lose his wife.
Let's be honest. It's not one of those naked anime statues.
Yeah.
It's not at all.
Yeah, predominantly all the female characters in anime have enormous, assets. to say the least. But we're not going to go into that. I mean, I don't want to turn this into.
Wondrous assets.
But I've thrown in some accounting terms there. But yeah.
It's going to be fun having you on the Primal Cast. I have this bit that I think everyone is going to enjoy. Anyone who's worked for public, what is it, service or whatever.
That's what we do, CPAs. We like to talk about assets. A lot.
Like, you had a comment here. Someone chiming in. Leon, he says, to be fair, since the dinos are super masculine and all, a female Dinobot would be overly feminine, no matter how bad that comes out. I guess I kind of hear what he's saying, because all the dinos are just like these big, huge dudes, to where, and it's the same thing whenever you look at like comic stuff, where you're like, hey, the females are like just overly done, but also all the dudes are like six packs and like all these little muscles and everything, and just huge jack dudes as well, So
They could have taken like the Saiyan approach to it, like from Dragon Ball Z, and I say that. I mean, we saw female Saiyans like what in the Bardock movie.
Yeah.
But they weren't overly feminine. They weren't like super tiny and thin. Even though all the dudes in Dragon Ball Z are like freaking broad shoulder ripped. But they weren't they weren't built like the dudes either. They were definitely bulkier, but they still had that typical run of the mill feminine figure.
Yeah. You see that with Wonder Woman. I mean, she's not your average size woman, but because she's an Amazonian and all that, but she still has that physique, physical tone, all that. I mean, you look at Batgirl, you look at any of the comic book characters that are physically fit. I mean, because they're at the height of athleticism and all that type of stuff, but they're not like huge, like with their Play Arts Kai looking thighs and all that type of stuff like that also. But
looking at my Master Chief, I'm like, this is Chief, because he does have a thin waistline.
I mean, you even like go back all the way to the '60s. Whenever you look at Julie Newmar that played Catwoman, and you look at, is it Yvonne Craig that played Batgirl, if that's how you say her first name. Both just like beautiful women, where the assets were there, and just a really nice figure. It's what you see in the comics and in movies and stuff like that. So I mean, it was even all predating back to the '60s, where they had those actresses.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to another topic, I guess, or something. Let's see. I did a store run this today. Found nothing, which is typical. But I did notice that it's kind of funny how we talked about turtles for a while. And I know, Josh, you're out of turtles. I'm still borderline. But we talked about turtles, how you get bang for your buck at times. And at least they're consistent, but now it seems like it's been flipped. I don't know what Playmates is doing, but I've seen at like Target, some of the stuff's clearance. It's shrinking down as far as just the size that they allocated to it. It just seems kind of odd. I mean, do you guys see that in your stores? If you're looking at, for Transformers, obviously Turtles is around there somewhere. Do you glance at it and like, well, it's abundant, or it's scarce, it's small, it's gone? I mean,
there's more than there should be. As far as as far as the shelf size, the norm.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've actually gone, looking for toys in store. But dude, last time I went, it was like next to nothing for Transformers, or the space was like this big. And I have, nothing but, as far as the eye can see, Turtles or, or something. There's even like wrestling figures, like, and even the Marvel, the Hasbro like Marvel 3 3/4 inch line. At times I don't even think that exists anymore until I see that still exists online.
Yeah.
You get the 6-inch stuff, but even then it's just another very small. I don't know what the deal with the stores is. It seems like kind of exclusively with the Hasbro product. It's just very small sections compared to just the rest. And
Yeah.
Halo, Walmart stopped carrying Halo toys. I think Target did too. Target may not have stopped, but anyways, I don't have those to look at anymore. So, kind of a bummer going toy hunting now.
In my Walmarts, the turtles are about twice as big as the Transformers section, and the Star Wars sections are, I don't know, maybe they're a foot and a half long, but that's all going to change September 4th. So.
Oh yeah.
I look forward to that planogram, honestly. I don't really collect Star Wars stuff, but I definitely look forward to seeing that.
We should all like periscope it, like live streaming it. They're like, all right, and it's 12 o'clock and 1 second. Cut the ribbon. Go, 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 go. And just running people over with the cart and just.
Dude, I think me and Josh we're probably gonna be the only dudes in our Walmarts. Because I bet you 90-0. I'll be able to walk into my Walmart at 10 p.m. September 3rd, see the cases out on the floor, open them up, and just take whatever I want.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That's what happened with Age of Extinction. Whenever the first wave came out, and I wanted those Dinobots, just walked right in.
They won't let you do that at my home.
Oh, dude, you gotta live in the South, man. It's like I don't know what it is, but that I don't know. Like I kind of cut a deal with them. I'm like, hey, you let me open this case, I'll stock it. And they're just like, whatever. So I'll open the case, and I'm like, do I still have to stock it for you? And they're like, whatever. And I'm like, all right, let's go look at DVDs. So.
Nice. I wish some of my Walmarts did that. I've seen stuff on the cases and they won't let me touch it. I'm like, when are you gonna get? Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. Well, can I see what's in there? It's like, no, when we get to it. I'm like,
that's exactly how they are.
Thanks.
I start going
all
through the
6
palette.
of my Walmarts. Dude. Yeah, I know. Like, what? It's gonna be a South. It's gotta be one of those in the South things.
It's
not just limited to my closest one.
They'll bring the pallet out to their toy section, and then they'll grab one thing and they'll go down there to stock it or whatever. And I'll go through because we know which boxes Playmates look like and Hasbro, and how to read it and stuff like that. So I'll just go through and I'll look at it and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm looking for. I'll just grab it and I'll take it down there. I'll go stock that for them. But yeah, I get it then. They're just like, whatever.
Dude, yeah. It's awesome, dude. It's awesome. It's every single Walmart. Like I said, it's not just the one that's closest to me. I can go to every Walmart and just do it.
Target, I did. Well, that's not midnight, but on I forget which days it is, but they bring their stock out on a pallet too, or not pallets, but they have them in these carts, and I just go through them. They're like, "Can we help you find anything?" I was like, "No, I know what I'm looking for. I'll grab it if I see it."
Just make sure that stuff's in the system when I go up there to pay for it, because it's going to cost me $1 if it's not.
Yeah.
But I wish I could do that. Oh man, but I always ask if there's someone around. Hey, and usually they're nice when I ask. I've gotten some people like, "What are you doing?" "I'm checking something else." And if they give me a smart aleck remark, then I give it back to them like, well, when are you going to get your ass in gear to get this out on the shelf? Or do I have to come back in 4 hours when you get to it and stuff like that? But that's when they're real snippy at me like, well, you shouldn't be touching that unless we get to it, because they give me this kind of weird answer like, well, we don't know if it's in the system. We don't know this. We have to make sure that it's got a street date that we can put. Well, you're just going to leave it here for a couple days because it's not to the street date? I mean, they tell me all this type of jargon, which I'm like, come on, dude. Do I have noob written on me? No. Please.
That's why you walk in there like I do. I walk in there with a box cutter, just to open up all the tape. I mean, dude, I'll just again, I guess it's because it's the South, because man, I open the cases up that way, I don't have to like peel tape and all that.
I use
pull
my
the
keys.
box cutter out. Oh no, dude, I go full on like weapons mode. I pull the box cutter out, open it up.
Oh my goodness.
No one ever gets smart with me, dude. I'll just flip that box cutter out like, what's up? It's the
I
South,
just unleash
dude.
my Wolverine claws. You got
That
problems.
shit just kind of works down here, I can't explain it.
Me and Trent, we live in Texas. Yeah, we just take out our machete and we start hacking away at the plastic.
My 6-shooter, and I just start blowing holes in my rifle.
We just take out our M4 assault rifle and start.
I just grab my dirty Harry and just start shooting at the tape, and yeah. That's just how it works down here, dude. You need to live in the South, James.
Oh man.
You do have a female collector's point of view here, on the subject we were talking about earlier.
Oh, I do. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Triple Changer Octane says female collector point of view. I don't even like the idea of Transformers having distinct genders. But considering they kind of default to male, if they aren't female, they kind of have to do it. But most they fill up the shelves with these characters that are only female and have nothing else interesting about them. And the Boobabot thing, LOL, but it's kind of awkward. Yeah, that's the thing. It is kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, if they have fiction behind them, like the whole Victorian, if they really write her into the story really well and all that, I could become a fan. And it's just one of those things that Hasbro attempted, and I'm waiting for a third party to properly represent her. That she does out of the comics and such. But it does depend on.
How well did Wingblade turn out?
Pretty good.
As far as story went, because man, I still haven't been able to pick up those stories yet. I know it's about the rap. So that's that. So it wasn't. I'm almost positive they'll do the same thing, because you got to remember, dude, it's IDW at the helm of writing these characters and not Hasbro.
True.
And man, they always just put so much into these characters, at least in my opinion. So I don't think we'll have much. I don't think we'll have a whole lot of problems there, as far as the characteristics of them. But I don't know. I guess it all depends on, does it feel right? Were they shoved into the story? Because obviously Hasbro has some pretty significant pull and say so there.
Yeah, and I mean they have a time crunch. They need to get the story out when the figures are out, and they have all this. But I mean, Hasbro stated they're going to create more, or IDW said that they're going to have more in the new, when Windblade transitions to All Are One. I guess that's what it's going to be called next. And they're going to actually have a new female Decepticon character, all this type of stuff. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's interesting. I mean, how would you guys feel if the new, if they were doing Matrix Bearer, or new leader was a female character, female convoy, Prime, no longer Optimus, and let's not talk about Rodimus.
I think it would be a decent change. It'd be something new. That's what the franchise is all about. Is change.
Yeah.
I would be game to see that. And it wouldn't be Bumblebee, thank goodness.
Oh God, yes.
So I couldn't stress how I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And what did I see? Oh, that Twitter back in the day. Again, Josh, you have some good Twitter moments.
Again, I like to stick we have fire ants here. I like to stick sticks in the fire ant beds and stir them up.
The whole GoBots have more female characters, which in a way is kind of true to the Transformers, but that was a pretty good debate back and forth, kind of like that. And I mean, we saw in Beast Wars, even though may not like it, I mean, we got some really good characters out of there. Black Arachnia, Air Razor, which I really liked, because instead of just having RC, which was cool,
Yeah.
but they really fleshed out the characters. But that was just what Beast Wars was all about. But um, even Transformers Prime RC, I wish that there was more. Arachnid, cool toy, yeah, but I forgave the toy because I liked the character. I liked how she was in the show and all that, such. But
You know, and just because I played this game a couple times here recently, and I'm a fan of Laura Croft and the Tomb Raider, and if you play that, that game that came out, what was it, last year or maybe year before, but you play the Tomb Raider, you notice like she's, if they did the story with the leader like that, it's not like Hot Rod coming, but she kind of starts off to where she's like, no, everybody stop, I don't want to have to hurt you and stuff like that. To where towards the end, she's like, I'll kill you guys, and she's just like, killing everybody. She you watch her evolve throughout the game, and toward the newest game, they're talking about, like now she is the Tomb Raider. That was kind of like the pre-story the first game was. If they develop, and that's a female character, but they made her a very strong character, and you get to see the progression of her. I think it's what they were trying to do with Rodimus, but they failed at it, and Rodimus just ended up being weak.
it was a placeholder, I think, at times. But I think he was supposed to be that kind of. I mean, obviously, we know the Japanese, they like the insecure, and more, closer to home type of character persona. But, yeah, Rodimus. I mean, if you like that, but yet in the Headmasters, hey, taking off, RC, see ya. I'm going to go with Blur and Cup. We're going to take off together, and Matrix coming with me. I don't really care. And we're going to take off, and hopefully Unicron don't show up again or something, but, all that type of stuff, and we're gone. Yeah, that was kind of poorly written on both sides. Hasbro could have done a little better. I mean, you could tell Hasbro was like, we don't like Rodimus. Why did we come up with this? Can we kill him finally? Can we get rid of him? Because towards the end of Season 3, it's like, he doubted himself, all this type of stuff. I don't want to do this. I'm complaining a lot,
My G1 toy sucks.
Yeah.
But it's like every other incarnation of Rodimus has been kick-ass.
Yeah. I like the new one, the Lost Light Rodimus. I love Shattered Glass.
Whenever the beginning of IDW, their first kind of, series of comic books like that, Rodimus was kind of a hard ass too.
Yeah.
It's Shattered Glass Rodimus. So you guys, yeah, that's awesome.
He's great. The one shot of Rodimus, I like that. How the whole double dealer story.
Dealer?
Yeah. That was good. I mean, it's just don't put him in that Supreme Commander, I think, position anymore. It's just.
That's where he loses it. Yeah.
That's what I think is, but not trying to, upset Proto Man.
Even in animated, dude, Rodimus in animated, he wasn't in any kind of big command. I mean, he was in there for like 15 seconds, but he was taking charge and like, getting it done.
Yeah.
Until he got hit with Cosmic Rust, but still.
I so wish that Rodimus would have been the Sentinel character, that snippety smartass.
Oh yeah.
to Prime. That would have been a really nice turn for Rodimus in animated if that was him, but oh well. All right, going for about an hour and a half, so do have the Primal Cast, so I'll probably end it here. So unless you guys have something else.
Don't see anything else in here.
All right.
Just screw Bumblebee.
There you go. So you guys can outro yourselves, starting with you, Dakota.
On Dakota, you can find me Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I don't really post on Instagram a whole lot. At Primal Sabbath, I have the Primal Cast coming up here probably about midnight Central Standard Time. open invitation. If you want on, send me a message on Facebook. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. And first come, first serve. So yeah.
Do you want me to drop the link on my page, or?
No, we're not going to drop. Not going to drop any links. We're just gonna do it by private message. So just send me a message on the Facebook page.
Cool. Charles?
Yeah, I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Optimus4Prez.
Dalton?
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DaltoniansTFs. I'm going to try and get the review of Fullmetal Alchemist up soon. I'm not even going to give a damn. I'm just going to put it up when I put it up.
All right. Cool.
There you go.
Josh?
You can find me, G1Hextron, on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and my Facebook page is the G1Hextron.
Cool. Trent?
Find me on Twitter and Facebook at Trent5.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, VictorySaber77. Instagram is VictorySaber7, and we will catch you on the Primalcast and next week. So, have a good week.